Now, my next guest has a lifelong passion to help others, which led him to set up 2 award-winning charities and writing 7 books. His work with young people through the charity XLP earned him an OBE from the late Queen in 2012, but it was his own struggles with mental health that prompted him and his wife Diane to set up Kintsugi Hope, a charity that provides UK-wide wellbeing classes. It also encouraged him to write his latest book, Brighter Days. Welcome, Patrick Regan. It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
So just explain what Kintsugi is.
Yeah, well, Kintsugi is a Japanese word. It means golden joinery. So if we get a bowl and we break it, we tend to mend it with super glue. We hide the cracks. We pretend it's not broken. But what they do in Japan is they put gold powder in the glue. So instead of hiding the cracks, they make a feature of the cracks. So arguably the object becomes more beautiful for being broken. It certainly becomes more unique. And Kintsugi Hope is basically training people all over the country to run wellbeing groups in their community to give people safe and supportive spaces.
Yeah, I see. I love that. So you're highlighting the cracks, and that symbolises the fact that, I suppose if you think about us as people, whatever we show on the outside, we might look like we're really confident, but we're all dealing with some stuff inside, aren't we?
Yeah.
And this is sort of saying, wearing it on your sleeve, I suppose, isn't it?
Beauty can come from brokenness, And I know for me, Sean, that I went through a time in my life where everything seemed to go wrong at once, a perfect storm, and I always thought that my poor mental health was going to be a life sentence. But I realised by talking to people, being real, being honest, that actually we can come back together and we can get hope as well. Yeah,
because that's what led you to setting up the charity, your experiences.
Yeah, I had to have major limb reconstruction surgery on both legs because I've got a degenerative knee condition. And I started to really unspiral. I just started to feel very low, very, very anxious. And yet the show reel looked incredible. I was speaking with Archbishop Desmond Tutu. I was in and out of Number 10. I'm doing social justice work. We had a visit from the Prince and Princess of Wales twice in a year. I hope you caught those names as they dropped there. Yeah. And it looked great on the outside. And as a guy, you feel like, I've got to man up. I've got to deal with this. But on the inside, I guess, away from the Facebook posts, I was hurting, I was broken, and yet I was feeling ashamed that I wasn't saying anything.
Yeah. Tell us, give us some examples of something practical that I can take home, people who are watching could take home. From your book, Brighter Days, some advice you would give for our well-being. Yeah,
I mean, Brighter Days for me is a book that is like a toolkit of loads of different things that you could do to invest in your mental and emotional health. A bit like if you went to the gym to invest in your physical health, what can you do to invest in your mental health? What are those small changes that you can make? I've got a dog called Hope, which I know is a really stupid name for a dog. My neighbours thought we were getting divorced, me and my wife, because I kept on shouting out, "No Hope!" for 6 months. But anyway, I take her for a walk, and I live in Essex, it's really flat. And so we go up this little incline, and then when you look back, your perspective looks really different. And I guess I want to say to people, there are changes that you can make in your life that when you look back, that things can look different. One really useful illustration is called the Resilience River, which is from a guy called Professor Patrick Matoney. He says that if you imagine a river, every river's got at the bottom rocks, and those rocks symbolise things that go wrong in our lives: anxiety, complex relationships, physical health. And we have to work out, if we're rowing a boat along the river, what are the things that are going to keep the river high so we don't crash on the rocks? Like self-compassion, talking to yourself the way you talk to your friends, sport, meditation, faith. And what are the things that lower our resilience levels as well, like perfectionism, a moving target you can't hit, anxiety. I used to think anxiety was weak, but now I realise that most people I know suffer anxiety just care too much.
Showing your vulnerabilities.
So we've got to get our rivers up, and that's what the book hopefully does.
And that brings us back to Kintsugi Hope, doesn't it? You're showing your vulnerabilities. Patrick, really, really good to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed.